Welcome back, friends. So, on June 30th, we had a lot of activity. A lot of activity because the moon was 96% visible on June 30th. And if you follow my channel, you know that I said that there was going to be a lot of notable things happening or something very notable happening on June 30th. And there were, and this is one of those stories that came out. Police stabbing suspect wanted revenge. 6 kids among injured. And as we can see here, they said that 9 people were stabbed, which means 666, including 6 children. So there is your 96 hidden in plain sight. Because 96 means 733.
Police in Boise, Idaho are trying to determine what motivated a gruesome stabbing attack that injured several people, most of them children. It happened last night at an apartment complex that houses refugees. Police say the victims suffered serious injuries, some life-threatening. Police have arrested this man, 30-year-old Timmy Kinner. Polo Sandoval joining me now with more details on all of this. Polo.
The suspect, Timmy Kinner, from Los Angeles, because that's where most actors come from, is, well, his name sums to 61. So there's your 733. And the double M in his first name, Timmy. I don't know many black guys named Timmy. Gives you, if you tilt the M's on their side, gives you a 33. But he's got the 44, 55, and of course the 61 for 733.
Fred, important to note that Kimmer is not a refugee himself here, so investigators are still questioning him right now after charging him. He's expected to be back in court on Monday. In the meantime, here's what we know about what took place last night. Police called to that apartment complex in Boise to report of a stabbing, found 9 people had been injured, as you mentioned, many of them children, 6 of them. 4 of them did receive life-threatening injuries. Important to point out some of the people who were injured are refugees themselves. We do know that this man is now in custody. He is a 30-year-old from Los Angeles, and authorities, as we mentioned, are interviewing him as we speak. He was asked to leave this apartment complex on Friday, where he was apparently a temporary resident, and then 24 hours later, this horrible scene played out here. Many of the members of the community there in Boise are speaking out, including local community leaders. The mayor, for example, Mayor Dave Beater. I want to read you a tweet that he posted early this morning when these reports started spreading throughout the community. The mayor tweeting, quote, "Last night's horrific attack does not represent Boise. Please join me in praying for the injured and their families. We must come together to condemn this vile act." Police have never seen anything like this either, Fred. They have never worked a case involving so many victims in one single incident here. So certainly police are gathering all the details. We expect to hear from them in the next 45 minutes or so for the latest update as we try to find an answer to that key question. What was the motive? What led this 30-year-old man to allegedly unleash this wave of violence on these people at this apartment complex?
I'll tell you what the motive was. The motive was money. There's now 9 GoFundMe pages that need your attention. Okay, you need to get out there and help these poor kids. They said that he deliberately targeted a 3-year-old's birthday party because he hated immigrants and wanted Trump to build a wall. Says Timmy Kinner wanted revenge for being kicked out of an apartment complex. So he attacked a 3-year-old's birthday party, which houses immigrants, and stabbed 9 people, including 6 children, for your 96 symbol. And further, he has been charged with 9 counts of aggravated battery and 6 counts of injury to a child for another 96. Kinner is not a refugee and is from Los Angeles. Police said that an unnamed resident was allowing Kinner to stay there, but asked him to leave because, quote, his behavior, unquote. And of his behavior, well, there is your 9/11 again. Because his sums to in Chaldean 9, and behavior is 29, reduces to 11. So they keep embedding 9/11 in all of these things. For some reason, I didn't see them do this last year. Quote, as you can imagine, the witnesses in the apartment complex, along with the rest of our community, are reeling from this attack, the police chief said. This incident is not a representation of our community, but a single evil individual who attacked people without provocation that we are aware of at this time. Police said there's no indication the stabbing was a hate crime. The FBI is assisting with the investigation. God, they just throw away taxpayer money faster than they can get their grungy little hands on it. Quote, last night's horrific attack does not represent Boise, unquote. Mayor Dave Beater tweeted, please join me in praying for the injured and their families. We must come together to condemn this vile act. So if you can't see how insane this is passive-aggressive psychopathy.
First up, idea motive on why someone want to kill this dad.
No, this is absolutely puzzling detectives, and after talking with them, Mike, they say they do not have a single motive at this point and no trace to a suspect, no suspect vehicle, and that everything is on the table, including what could be a motive.
This cop car, the sheriff, I think this is a sheriff, on the very top of his vehicle, his call number is 760 for your 733.
They have said that they do not believe that this is a suicide, Mike.
All right, Paul. So with that said, again, puzzling authorities there. I just mentioned it about other shootings, let's say, over the past couple of years. Are authorities saying anything about that? Possible connection, maybe?
So I don't know if this is unusual or not, but there are 5 chairs at this campground site, but there were only 3 of them, him and his 2 kids, 1 child's chair, 4 adult chairs.
Well, as you highlighted, there has been that incident where that young woman who said in, I guess it was winter of 2017, she had someone shoot at her car, and they are now looking at any possible links. They say at this point.
And there it is again, 760 for your 733.
They don't have links to any other shootings. I asked if they could recall for any other homicides in the park, and off the tops of their heads, the detectives said no. So this is something that they are, of course, trying to find out.
Why are there so many chairs if there's only 3 people camping? Why all the extra chairs? Oh, well, it doesn't matter because this is a fake news story. This is just another money grab. But I think it's despicable that they closed down the state park. They close it down, and this is the problem reaction solution. They wanted to close it down for whatever reason, while at the same time making people feel insecure and unsafe because they promised the illusion of safety and security in exchange for rights and freedoms and privacy. Like James Rogers said at the beginning, they need more security at public campgrounds and public parks because you never know who's out there with a shotgun. And I think it's improbable that, they said this guy was shot once in the head. I mean, this is a fake story. But what is somebody going to come and open your tent, shoot you, and then zip your tent back up and leave and not be seen and not leave tracks? You're walking around with a shotgun or whatever. It's just never going to happen.
Also important from the investigative standpoint, these 2 little girls, 2 and 4 years old.
And of course, there's always kids at the center of these things because people donate more money when there's children involved. So they're using children, they're using the illusion of children who didn't lose their father, but they're using the illusion of children in order to stuff their bank accounts with more cash.
They were camping with their father, as it said on a GoFundMe page, because the father wanted to give his wife a break so she could study for exams. Those little girls are possibly going to be interviewed by the type of forensic investigators who specialize in questioning little children. They're trying to work that out right now, they, of course, being the closest witnesses to this horrific shooting.
So these contrived news stories, there was a lot of them for June 30th, the 63 symbol. I wish July looked a lot better than June, but it doesn't. It looks just as nutty. leading up to. I haven't looked at in August yet, but I suspect. I mean, it's going to be a run up to the fall. I think they got some tricks up their sleeves, these jokers here. So we'll have to wait and see, though. Anyway, that's your fake news for Sunday. Much love. See you soon. Bye bye.